Perfect. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lupe and I'm a second-year student. A little bit about myself. I am a teacher for LAUSD and I work with what you would call transition services. And so I work with students with IEPs who are getting ready to graduate, and I support them in getting ready for whatever they're going to do in their, next stage in life after high school. So that's what I do. And last year for my end of the year project, I did homeopathic remedies for the classroom. So I kind of doing that same kind of theme, but I'm a little bit more specific this year. And I'm talking about anxiety and bullying, helping children using homeopathy. Okay. And what inspired me to take this topic were like two big things. The first one was that I have two kids, Christian and Nina, 11 and 8 years old. And when Christian was in kindergarten, there was this little girl in his classroom that had serious like separation anxiety. And that's pretty typical for kindergarten, those early years. A lot of kids cry, their first few days in kindergarten. But this little girl, she really stood out. She really stood out because she cried like almost every day for kindergarten and for a long time, And then I saw her first grade, same thing, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Finally, fifth grade, something happened, and she got some help. And then she finally was, not crying as much. So it took her, so many years to do, better with the separation anxiety. And I actually asked her mom if she wanted to be, if she would let her be my mentorship for my first year, but she said she had already gotten her some help. And so I was happy to see that whatever she was doing, actually was helping her. And then the second thing is that as I like learned more about anxiety and just things about fears and things like that that students deal with, I learned that as a kid, I think I had anxiety and I didn't know what it was. I just thought I was a shy kid. But, throughout all my years, all the way to college, there was like things that were not normal that I didn't know were not normal. So I remember like specific things like having like really serious like anticipatory anxiety before taking a test, or like when final exams were coming up, I would have the craziest thoughts going through my mind. And so, now that we're learning homeopathy, I said, what if, we could share some of these, you know, remedies with other people and just like help so many others, and they won't have to suffer the way, so many of us have suffered. So that's kind of what inspired me to do this. And so we'll just jump into it.
You could scroll on the mouse.
Oh.
Down.
Okay, so for some scary statistics. So for anxiety, it is estimated that 3.6 of 10 to 14-year-olds and 4.6 of 15 to 19-year-olds experience an anxiety disorder. So these are, kids that have actually been diagnosed, and I'm sure the number is much higher that are not diagnosed.
Is that in the world?
Yes, this is 2021. Oh. Oh, this is better. Okay. And then, whoa, 1 out of 5 students report that they're being bullied, which is another huge concern. Mm-hmm. And then unfortunately, from those kids that are being bullied, 41% are like thinking that it's going to happen again. So I'm sure they're going to school scared, because of what they've experienced. So just to kind of review what anxiety is, it's worrying, the anticipatory stress, panic attacks, the test anxiety, social anxiety, phobias, and fears. So these are some remedies for anxiety. And aconite, we've heard, today already, but it is for anxiety as a whole, panic attacks. We have arsenicum album, which you can use it when you're feeling like your chest constricting, you have the difficult breathing. The argentum nitricum for the anticipatory anxiety. Califos for the nervousness, the negative thinking. Gelsemium for just like, like today, coming up and doing a presentation in front of your your peers. And then just social anxiety in general. I know that probably a lot of people they're not aware of the social anxiety. Even the kids, like they just don't feel comfortable in the class with a lot of other kids in the class. So it could be a lot of different things. And well, unfortunately, we all kind of know what bullying is, but just to review, it could be name calling, insults, rumors being spread, being pushed, shoved, tripped, spit on, excluded from activities. And then now with, internet, then everything is now on the internet as well, which a whole other spin, but that's called cyberbullying. Yeah, unfortunately, all of this stuff still is happening. I know my little girl, a few months ago, a little boy spit on her and she was so upset. She was so upset. And, you know, she went to the teacher. She did everything she needed to do. She told the teacher, I don't think this little boy knew what he did. He thought he was being funny, so there's all these different things, but she really took it offensively, so maybe another kid, if they were just like, whatever, it wouldn't be an issue. But for her, she took it to heart. So for her, maybe, a remedy or a good talking through the whole situation, would be beneficial for her. So remedies for bullying, we have Orem, and this, this is a third year, yes, a third year remedy. And it's for like severe depression, extremely oversensitive to contradiction, overwhelmed by stimuli, and of course, that huge feeling of like just being hopeless. We have Mercurius or Hemfersol for rage, aggressiveness, and just like dealing with insults. Ignatia and Hyoscyamus for sleeplessness caused by negative emotions. And then we have Lachesis for jealousy, and the Hyoscyamus also, and the Staphysagria. A lot of us are more familiar with that one, alleviates anger and the sense of injustice. Then we also have the Gelsemium and the Argentum nitricum, again for the wait a minute. Yes, for anticipatory anxiety, nervousness, and anticipating events, going back to how they're feeling like, oh my God, this might happen again, and they're kind of waiting for it. So the nice thing is that we know that homeopathy is gentle medicine, and we can use it without worrying about all the side effects and things that maybe some of the, allopathic medicine can do. And so with timely support and the right remedies, we can prevent so much of the suffering for our young people. Okay. And the most important part is that, if we do that, we are hopefully preventing things getting worse. So let's give our children the best chance to avoid more severe issues that can follow. So, things like drug abuse, incarceration, severe mental illness, and suicide. Okay, thank you so much.
Does anyone have any questions for Lupe? I think we have time still. Yes. 4 seconds. Funny questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lupe.